Good evening. This is my excited face because we've got fabric, we've got Tim Holtz fabric, we've got Natasha with us as well. This is a brand new one-day special. Yes, this is the launch. Oh, we've got some great goodies for you as well. Let's say good evening to Natasha in a little while because, of course, she is going to be here demonstrating. We've got loads of goodies, as I say. Do you know what? We're busy already. I knew we would be. I knew, you know, it would be rude not to say hello, but let's just get straight into the one-day special. Then we'll say hello to Natasha, because we have got 20 amazing fat quarters for you here as well. Now, we can separate this a little bit, but I think you're going to want the whole lot. I really do. Yes, 20 fat quarters, Tim Holtz designs, absolutely superb quality. Details on the screen. Before we get into all of those wonderful details, yeah, I will say a very good evening to Natasha.
Good evening, how are you?
I'm very well, thank you. I'm excited about this.
Well, I think when I first found out that Tim Holtz not only did paper but did fabric, I did squeal slightly in excitement and frantically bought it all, because this is digital printed fabric.
Yeah.
So the first thing that you need to know about it is that as soon as you digitally print rather than screen print, most fabrics are screen printed with up to 16 screens of different colours. As soon as you digitally print, you've got the detail in there, but also the substrate, which is the cloth that it's printed onto, has to be much, much finer. So it's a much smoother fabric that you're going to be working with. It's lush.
It really is lush. Now, we've got abandoned 1 and abandoned 2. So we've got a top and a bottom row here. So we're going to go through these. Right, now the 20-piece fat quarter bundle is the one-day special, so you've got a saving on there. You're going to get every one of them. So you don't have to worry about choosing anything at all. But we are going to go through this separately as well. Let me just give those details first of all. One-day special, you have got the saving there, and you've got a flexi on it, £37.74 per payment. Pay one now, one in a month's time, 402309. Dispatch date, just to give you a heads up on that as well, is from it's 17 days. So a little bit of a wait. We haven't got a date. We'll have to work that out for you, actually. But 17 days, but it's well worth the wait. Oh, the 30th of May. Do you know, the way May's disappearing, that's going to be before we know it. So let's go through these. Shall we start with the top or the bottom? We'll start at the top. It makes sense, doesn't it? So let's have a look at these. I'm just going to peel them back a little bit, but I don't think you really appreciate what you're getting here until you see these mixed with the other fabrics we've got on the show. The samples that Natasha's done for us are absolutely amazing. I particularly love this one because there's a bag right behind me that this has been used on, and I adore it. Natasha, these are just stunning. When we think of Tim Holtz, we think of grunge, we think of text, we think of all those different abstract designs, we think of bright colours, dark colours, everything goes, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's that there's that shabby chic, that distressed look as well, and this time he's taken that distressed look and put it in kind of an industrial setting. So you have those amazing colours that come with rust, with age, with time. And it just works. Look at that. I mean, just that crackling through there. It's absolutely stunning, but use it in different ways. You know, maybe you want to have that and have that as lightning. It's just so much fun to work with. It's a stunning set, really fabulous. Lots of fun and lots of different colours to find in there as well. She says, looking at the black and white one. But here, you've got your oranges and your blues, and there's all sorts coming through that you can pull out from there. You've got purples hidden in here as well. There's a wealth of colour. So for someone like me that, loves a bit of colour, for me, the fun in here is finding those colours and really delving in and
look
pulling
at the
them out.
layers there. The music notes you can see in the background. You really look into the depth of this. You can see all the different detail. Now, we're looking at the one-day special, so we've got all 20 here. Let's just have a look at the bottom row. So again, you know, there's not really, you can't say there's a marked difference in the designs here because they are Tim Holtz, so you're getting those different layers. You're going to get your journal sort of type fabrics there. You can see, you know, you've got your printed lines, you've got your numbers and letters in there, you've got text, you've got almost a damask in there. That's very nice. I like the colours of that one as well. Loving the turquoises. Let me just peel that a little bit more so you can see. Absolutely beautiful, gorgeous. All 20 pieces. Are these American fat quarters? Are they 18 by 22?
From the supplier that they are coming from, I am going to say yes. And also because Tim Holtz is under Free Spirit, I believe, so they would be 18 by 22 inches. So an American fat quarter is 1/4 of a yard as opposed to a British fat quarter, which is 1/4 of a metre.
Wonderful. Oh, these are gorgeous, aren't they?
One day that will come in useful in a pub quiz.
You know, wouldn't that be great if it
I
did?
know,
That could be the winning question for your team.
Yeah, I retain that useless piece of knowledge for a pub quiz.
Oh, I love it. £75.48. We can split this two ways, as I said, 402 309. Now, we have got an image to show you in a little while as well. Now, when it comes to the one-day special itself, we've got abandoned 1, we've got abandoned 2 as well. Now, abandoned 1 we have seen before, but we've never seen abandoned 2. So, if you've already purchased before, you obviously haven't got abandoned 2, you can go for that as an individual, so 10 fat quarters. This is what we're showing you here, so all those beautiful designs in there. A £2.50 saving here, $39.99. Same size fat quarters, of course, it's the same fabric, but you know, we have split this down for you if you want that option. 383582 is the item number. Flexi on that as well, 2 payments of £20. Wonderful. Now, we're staying with the same fabrics, but we can offer these in different measurements as well, because we've got half-metre pieces for you. So not always, do you want the fat quarters? Maybe this is for you, and maybe you want to multi-buy as well. So we've got the same designs, or almost. I think we're kind of missing one from the one-day special, but you've more or less got the same fabrics here. I'm not going to untuck these too much, because I don't want to spend too much time sort of neatening up and taking away from Natasha, but, you know, lots of options, all on the website as well. I don't know how you're going to choose if you're going for this one. Pick and mix. It is any 2. You can have 2 the same. You can go for 2 completely different ones. You can go for multiples, as long as it works out if you divide by 2. It's got to be working into those multiples. $15.99. So you're going to get a full metre here. These are Tim Holtz. These are absolutely beautiful. 615315 is the item number. They've all got amazing names to them as well. Do you know, I like seeing some of the names. Sometimes they make sense, sometimes they don't, sometimes they're really, really random. But do you know, it doesn't matter about the names. It's the fabrics that matter. But we will, of course, show you the names, because this will help you determine which ones you want to put in your baskets. Make sure you're choosing your favourites, or, you know, maybe you've got a project already in mind as well. Honestly, I can't choose a favourite, Natasha. I can't.
I waver. I do. I go between various ones. That one on the bottom left, I do love that one.
The Hotel Burgundy.
I haven't got my glass, hang on.
The one, the Ruler Peltier.
Ruler, yeah.
Yeah, the colour, yeah.
Ruler
I've got to admit, they're my sorts of colours. Sometimes, though, I think I've picked my favourite, and then I change mine when I see the samples, like the bag I was talking about that's behind me there. I just love that. Talking of that bag, we've got more fabrics for you. If you want something to work with the Tim Holtz fabrics, these are absolutely beautiful, and I mean beautiful. Oh, wait until you feel these. These are absolutely gorgeous. They're very, very soft. You've got your lights and you've got your darks as well. That's got to be the darks that I've just picked up. Yeah. Look how the light catches these. Aren't they stunning?
It's a quilted PU. It's a slightly unusual fabric, but it's easy to work with. Just stick a walking foot on and you will be away. I use these a lot in projects. Last week was the first time that I've ever bought these as fat quarter buns. They are big fat quarters as well, because they come off a longer roll. Normally a roll of fabric is 44 inches and you'd cut that in half, but so these are off a 56-inch roll, so they are much bigger fat quarters. So they are, you know, they're big, and they just add something a little bit different to a project. And it's just, I like to bring in a bit of texture, something a little bit different. Like with the bag, to be able to use, you know, the navy PU down the bottom of it. I've used them in pouches. I've used them for my any size envelope pouch. I've used them even for the dog poo holder, poo bag holder. You know, all of those things, I've used them in the past, over the past year and a half, almost. And it was about time that actually it seemed a bit unfair that I'd always used them in my projects and then just never bought them to wear. So they sold out last Thursday, and I've got some more back in for you today.
I'm not surprised you've found these to be very busy in the past. Look at the price, $16.99. You're getting 4 fat quarters there. The darks are the most popular so far, and I'm saying so far because it could change. I just want you to appreciate how soft these are as well. I know you can't feel them, but look, if I scrunch that up, you can see how malleable that is. I love these.
Well, you can also dressmake with these as well. So you can there's certain high street shops that have, you know, like anoraks and jackets and stuff out of this kind of fabric.
Yeah. Beautiful. Well, grab yours. I'd be going for one of each there. 371532 is the item number, $16.99. Now, there's something else. As soon as I saw these, I said, oh, Natasha, these are just beautiful. Beautiful.
Yeah.
Now, we are starting with the treasure tote.
Yeah.
Now, Natasha down her end has got the most beautiful, well, there's a couple of bags actually that are so stunning. You are going to want these. Now, with the treasure tote, we've got the frames here for you.
Yeah.
You've got different colours, so you can choose. So the colours we've got for you are, starting at the front actually, we have got, that looks like the bronze, I believe, at the front. Then in the centre, we've got the light gold. And then we have the gunmetal. Is it the wrong way around? Is the
light
bronze
gold
the middle
is the one that looks almost rose gold.
Right. Okay.
And then,
can I pick these up and bring them forward? Because we might get a better view of the colours if I bring these forward and show you the camera. I'm saying that because there's so much detail on these as well. I want you to appreciate what you're getting here. These are only $15.99. Wait until you see the projects.
And the patterns for free. You're getting the pattern for free in there as well.
Wonderful. So this is the light gold. It does look like, pretty much like a rose gold. It's very, very pretty. I like all of these. Again, I think depending on the fabric you go for, it might determine which colour you go for. I do like that because it's kind of an antique look, isn't it? So
it's going to go with all of your distress colours through there.
So that is your bronze. And then finally we have the gunmetal for you as well, which is absolutely going to work with every piece of fabric that you could possibly choose, I believe. These are really, really well made. You can feel the quality of these, Natasha, can't you?
And unusual as well. I hadn't seen these until Lisa Chandler, whose fabric we bought the other week, she introduced me to this particular bag, and it's her design that's in there as well. So you're getting a free Lisa Chandler design, but there's something a little bit different and will work. You know, don't just think, oh, I'm just buying Tim Holtz. If you have any other fabric, look at the different colours for those as well. So this is the very first one that I made in a cake. This
bag is just delicious. It really is. Look at that. I love everything about it. You know, the mechanism, the top there, the clasp is beautiful. The fabric that you've chosen, the shape of the bag, it just works. But you can see the quality in the clasp there, can't you? The handbag handle there with a wonderful ball clasp at the side. And they're nice and sturdy. The fact that, you know, you've got to give them a bit of a pinch to open, but that's a good thing because, you know, these are not going to be bags that somebody's going to get their hands into easily if you fasten them up.
If you were having off for a day at the races or something and you happen to have that with you, it's a bit like a carpet bag.
Yes,
that's what it reminds me of, like a modern take on a carpet bag. Lisa calls it her treasure tote because she's like, now you put your treasures in and then off you go. Go off for your day and find more treasures to put in it.
Oh, I just think these are one of the most beautiful things I've seen. 514426. Remember those three different options. You've got the bronze, the gunmetal and the light gold as well. Absolutely wonderful. Do you know what? I don't know that I can choose a favourite out of those, but if I was really, I would get all three. I probably will as well. But if I was really pushed, if somebody said to me, Catherine, you can only have one, I probably would go for the bronze. I think. But we've got more. We've got more for you. We've got different sizes as well. We have also got the square one, so a slightly smaller size. And Natasha's got another lovely bundle here to show you as well, or a bag that's been created. Can I bring these forward as well? Actually, you can see it really well, can't you? This is the light gold. Look at the detail we've got here. Isn't that beautiful? Every bit of this is decorated. You've obviously got the clasp area in the centre there, rather than at the sides. So maybe smaller projects. For this one, look what Natasha's got. We've got the same colour options for you. We've got the light gold, the bronze and the gunmetal again. Look at that. Now that's the gunmetal. Doesn't that work so beautifully?
Yeah, that is the gunmetal. Both of my projects were with the gunmetal, and again, you know, lovely and sturdy. Open them up and they're, you know, they open out flat like that, a bit like a frog's mouth, and then you can delve in and get everything.
I just love them. I really, really do. So professional, aren't they? The finishes you're going to get and the fabrics that you choose. And these will work so well with the one-day special and the Tim Holtz fabrics as well. Just beautiful. $14.99 if you want to go for the square handbag bundle. 408123. Now, we'll just have a little look on the website and we'll have a look at what we've got over there. Of course, everything that we've just mentioned is going to be there. There's more besides as well. We've got lots of goodies for you. Do have a look at the mystery piece fat quarter bundle. Now, these are always very popular. You know you're going to get something wonderful. You don't quite know what, but it's going to be wonderful. Only £35.98. Got a feeling they might go very quickly. We've also got the Free Spirit Designer Essentials Solid Layer Cake. That's been a popular item in the past, but I love the fact that we've also got the 40-piece fabric roll and we've got the charm packs there, pack of 2 for you. Great, great bundles once again. We've got all sorts, we've got rulers and everything, so do have a look. But I want to get over to Natasha. I think she's going to make a bag and I want to see how it's done. Can we do that? Can we go there now, please? Yes.
It's easy.
Is it easy?
Yeah,
Is it?
It is actually. So Lisa, whose bag this is, believes there are only 6 different ways to make a bag. We're gradually working our way through them on the shows. So this is a metal frame bag, and we will make one this hour. And we can make another one another hour if we've still got stock. So the first thing to think about is what interfacing you're going to use. I use Styleville Fix. It's a Vaseline product. It means that it's got a bit of oomph to it. If you use something like an H640, it's just the handle, because they're really good quality, they're a little bit weighty.
Yeah.
So you need a stabilizer that is going to be able to take that weight and maintain its shape. A Bosal will do very nicely if you've got Bosal. I believe we've got that on the website somewhere. But anything like that, a Styleville Fix or a Bosal, and again, if it's an iron-on stabilizer, so much the better. And then you are going to put it on your outside pieces. Okay.
And of course, we're using fabrics from the one-day special.
We
here.
are.
These are the Tim Holtz.
If you are worried about which way, have a think about which way up you want it to be. So when it flips open, which way up do you want it? It's kind of non-directional. You do get script going all over the place, but do have a little think. And I always say, if I clip that and I open that up, am I going to be happy with whichever way round that is? So I will clip this end and we are going to stitch just along there. Now, as I make the outer, it's exactly how you will make the lining.
Okay,
it's just the lining won't have this, the interfacing on it. Okay. So that's the only difference. So my lining is already made. I got a bit organised.
You're very organised. I have to tell you something else as well. Do you know what's flying? The treasure tote.
I bet. Do you know what it is? It is super, super gorgeous. And if you are doing this at home on your domestic machine, please use a walking foot because we're starting to go through layers.
Yeah. Oh. Now, with the treasure tote, there's so many of you've got those satin baskets. At the minute, the bronze and the gunmetal are the oh no! I thought I was going to hear them. They're in the lead, but they're not. They're technically gone. That means all stock, is allocated in baskets. If you do not check those baskets out, either the time lapse will make sure that they jump back out, or if you've just changed your mind, they won't stay there forever, so other people get that opportunity. If you really, really want those, please, please, please check those baskets out now. If there's more you want, you can come back and put another order in, but don't miss out on those. The light gold is also limited stock, so we've got virtually nothing left. As it stands at the moment, check those baskets out.
Well, hang on a minute.
Oh, I'm going to miss out then again, aren't I?
I'll see you right, don't worry. Now, you want to mark the middle. This is just a little tip for you, okay? I haven't actually. Oh yeah, I can press that on straight. Do you know why it's not fixing? Because I've tried to fix it to the wrong side of the stabiliser. I couldn't work out why it wasn't helpful. But it means I can show you. Look, there we go. It's done for a reason. I've cut this, and in the packet, you will get on the back. Oh no, that's the wrong one. On the back of your instructions, there is a template. I've made this so many times. I just made with template plastic. Just make yourself a template. This is your outer, and you can see here. I've made a second one minus the seam allowance.
Yeah,
it just means that on your domestic machine, you're going to find it easier to stitch, and you've got a guide as to where you're going to stitch.
That's a really good idea for everybody to do.
It just makes, I'm all for an easy life, Catherine, you know, there are enough things to be difficult about. Let's not make it sewing.
Well, that's it. And, you know, I think once you've made one of these bags as well, you will make more because everybody will see them and want one. And you might have trouble getting hold of the top bit because they're all going to sell out. But do you know what? We might see them back. But also, there's ways of adapting things as well, isn't there? You could make the bag base and change the closure on the top or put some sort of fastenings on there.
Where there's a will, there's a way.
Of course.
Always. You want to mark your centre point on these. She says do it in a colour that no one can see. Okay. And mark that and match that to your seam. Okay, the other way to do it is the good old-fashioned way of folding it in half. I'm always a fan of that. And pop that on there. Now, when you stitch, you are going to stitch from that point. Let me get a pokey tool to show you. From this point here to this point here.
Right, okay.
You are not going to stitch all the way across.
Ah, okay, yeah.
Because you want that to then be a pivotal point to bring that bag handle up. This is the gusset that gives it the shape.
Of course.
Okay? It's not a word, I don't like the word gusset, but we'll go with it. It's what it is.
It is what it is.
It's one of the, it's just one of those words.
Just there's a few, isn't there, out there?
Yeah. And when you're clipping it in place, just make sure that the point of it stays on that seam there, so that you've got everything where you need it to be.
Wonderful. And
we will repeat that on the other side. So let me just stitch that down again on your home machine. We're using 1/4 inch, by the way, just so that you know. And use a walking foot. This machine only does a straight stitch, okay, so because it's only got one stitch that it does, it just does it ridiculously well. So, you know, I can compensate by not using a walking foot. I do love it. I've really got into my bag making. Like, I'm not a real technical bag person. If you ask me to put in 33 different envelope pockets and stuff, I'd probably want to cry. But I've just really enjoyed working with fabrics and getting different effects.
Yeah.
You know, something to make a bag like this is lovely. And also because there's quite a lot of hand stitching with that handle. Like this morning, I caught up with the last episode of Line of Duty. Finally got there. Don't tell my husband because I was meant to watch it with him. But, not that you're going to be on the phone to, oh, Natasha said. You'll never guess what she watched.
He's not watching then?
No. What's the time? No, we should be putting the kids in the bath. Lucky man. That'll be fun. So, not that he ever really watches, to be fair. So, no, I can get away. Don't you lot go telling him either. Don't you dob me in. But yeah, so I was stitching. I mean, so I've got a few injuries on my hands because it got a bit tense at points, and I wasn't watching what I was doing, and I poked myself. But it's all good. It's all good.
Natasha, something else is selling very well that we've not even mentioned, but everybody's found it.
What?
The buckwheat.
Oh, the buckwheat.
Yes.
I suddenly realised that it's Father's Day next month. So, and Tim Holtz, of course, is perfect for your makes for Father's Day. So I thought, well, what are we going to do? And my very first pattern that I ever bought to air, and it's one of my best-selling patterns ever, and it's a really simple one, and we will show you later, is the tablet stand.
It's genius, isn't it?
And
it's simple, but it's genius.
Yeah, it is. There it is.
Love it.
Super, super easy. Do you know what? I also use it as a neck pillow in the car.
Do you?
Yeah. Yeah, because you can just rearrange it, and then you put you've just put your tablet in there, and you can angle it at any point.
That is brilliant.
But don't overfill it. I'll show you that when we make it up. It'll take 5 minutes to make. But the scents that we've got sandalwood, which is quite a nice masculine scent.
This is a sandalwood I've got here, actually. I can't forget it's here because it smells absolutely delightful.
And we've also got rose.
It really does.
Because there's got to be something for everyone.
So I'm just going to take the plastic bag out a little bit so you can see the amount that you're getting here, which is a large amount.
So 250 grams is absolutely perfect for one of my eco tablet stands. It's organic. It's got a so those little white bit, the husks, the buckwheat husks are organic, and the little white flecks are what carry the scent.
The scent, yeah.
Yeah.
Love it, love it. Well, you have found it, and it is busy, so just bear that in mind as well. Right, Natasha, I'm going to let you carry on. I'm not going to rattle that bag anymore. Yeah, it looks like I'm packing lunch. I've not had lunch. What lunch?
It looks like you've got ears.
It does, doesn't it?
I mean, this more so than the rabbit scissors, potentially.
Yeah.
That Adam's still looking at going, how do you get a rabbit from that? Right, so then we're going to fix that onto there. Yeah, OK. So we left a pivotal point, right? Which means that that can now just move across, and you can start to stitch. You're not going to pin this in advance.
OK.
OK, because this creates a curve, and curves are really hard to pin. So what you will do is you will pop this under your machine, and you will start there, and you will move this over so that at every point you are just stitching in a straight line.
Got you.
Yeah?
So always keep your needle in the down position as you move
and then just keep moving it, keep moving it, keep moving it, and that will create that curve.
Yeah.
Okay? You are then going to stop at that point there, repeat it on the other side, and then when on the other side, when you get to that point there, you are then good to go to just whiz up straight.
Amazing.
Okay?
Amazing.
Should we do that?
You don't need to do any reinforcement stitch, just a straight stitch, and when you've got the side, it's going to give you the strength.
I would always do a little back and forth to start off with, because if you are going to use it like a Mary Poppins carpet bag and be a bag over filler, self-confessed bag over filler, then you are going to want, you're just going to want
and of course it is going to be lined
it
as well, which is going to give you extra security. You're not going to leave it like that. You've got that
Oh,
beautiful lining
no,
to
of
go
course,
inside.
of course, of course. So under it goes, back and forward, and then we start. So we are always keeping and moving the top so that every time this, can you just see, I mean, I can stop if you want and then just move it across. So you are, people get worried about curves. Curves are just a series of tiny straight lines.
Yeah.
That's all it is. They're just very small straight lines. Okay. You don't want to be yanking it all over the shop either, you know, I mean,
No, just take your time.
That's the first one. Now it does mean that the next one is going to be from the other way. So because you've got, don't be afraid to get a bit brutal with, move it out of the way. If it's in your way, move it out your way. Like, you know, be the boss of it. Don't let it boss you around. It really needs to do what you want it to do.
Okay.
Okay, so you can see that's where I stop sewing so that that can pivot.
And you said use a walking foot, didn't you?
Yeah, just because you're going through, as soon as you start going through layers, some machines will struggle, and if your machine is one that might go, oh gosh, look at you, Mrs. 4 Layers, then that's absolutely fine. Whack a walking foot on. And it just means that it will take the top and bottom layers through at the same pace, so you don't get one left behind. Nobody wants to be left behind. And then once you're at the top there,
just whiz it right down the edge. Great. So the majority of the time in this bag then is the hand stitching of the handle, is it?
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Because look, I mean, that's already created
Yeah, can see it. Wonderful.
You know,
Yeah.
it's not,
It's a lovely
this
shape
is
to step
not
there.
a difficult bag, and I'm going to give you lots of tips as to how to sew that handle in.
Okay,
Promise,
wonderful.
promise,
Wonderful.
promise. Shall I
Ooh.
repeat the other side?
Yes,
All
yeah,
right.
do that. Now, of course, the fabric that Natasha's using is part of the one-day special. It's this one at the bottom, actually. I'm going to point one or two things out about the fabric because we've already sort of discussed, check the direction of the print. A lot of this is non-directional, and that actually does work with a lot of those with the text in. So if you think automatically, oh, well, there's text, I've got to get a certain way. If you do look and you know anything about Tim Holtz, you'll have numbers and text that goes in various different directions, which for me is great because non-directional fabrics means that you've got less wastage as well. So I'm just going to flick through the different designs a little bit. I'm not pulling any of these out. They are all fat quarters. They're American fat quarters, so 22 inches by 18 inches or 18 by 22, whichever way you want to put it first. And you've got a little bit of everything when it comes to colour. I mean, the browns, the oranges, the yellows, the turquoises, there's purple, there's pinks. You really are going through the whole range. Do you know, whether you like the grungy look, whether you like the brighter colours, you know, you are going to look at these in a different light as well. Once you start mixing them together, once you start bringing in your blenders or using some of the fabrics we've got on today's show, oh, just amazing. Now this one, I particularly like this one, and Natasha said something that I saw in there as well. It looks like lightning bolts, doesn't it? But it could be a crackle. It's whatever you want it to be. Just going through these one by one so you can really appreciate what you're getting here. I really like that one as well. Wonderful. This one, a real favourite of mine. That's almost got, it's kind of got a grey green in there. I think that is absolutely beautiful. And then, of course, you've got the turquoises, the oranges there as well. So we've done the top row as the one-day special. You're getting all 20 of these, so the bottom row included as well. So we will just sort of flick through these a little bit as well. See, there's a bit of text in that one. Sometimes you don't even notice it straight away, especially how we've got it laid out on the counter. So when you get these home and you open them up, you really are going to be very, very happy. Isn't that beautiful?
To look at and stroke.
I know, I tend to do
yeah, you
that.
don't even know you're doing it, do you? But also, again, I can't say this enough, because this is digitally printed, it has, that substrate has to be really smooth, or it just, you just won't get the detail.
Do you know, I still can't pick a favourite, but I've definitely got some that are in my top 5, I think, or top 10.
You can imagine when
They're in
Paola
my top
does this,
20,
can't you?
that's
top
for sure.
20. Well, that's like most of the show, isn't it? There you go, 20-piece fat quarter, that's all of them.
Yeah, they're all in my top 20, these.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm fine. See, I can't just go for one selection. It's got to be the one-day special for me. There's the one that Natasha's using currently as well, which is absolutely beautiful. There we go. Look at these. £75.48. You do have a saving there, a £7 saving. We are going to split this for you. If you want to take advantage of the Flexi Basket, you can. 2 payments of £37.74. You just need the item number 402309. Now, I do also have, did mention this a little bit earlier, the contents may vary bundle. So obviously what I'm showing you here might not be what you get, but you're going to get a lovely, lovely selection. So if I do show you what we've got here, that's nice, isn't it?
Oh, pretty.
Oh, I do like that. Do you know, you don't have to worry. You really don't have to worry, because you know you're going to get something rather special. You're going to get a lovely selection, lots of different colours again, lots of different designs. Oh, look at this one with the maps on. Busy on these. Already a quarter of the stock has gone. I might open one out just so you can see the size of the fat quarters again. You see, again, you've got so much newspaper print.
I made a wallet last year for Father's Day with that as the inside. So when you opened it out, you got some of that entomology.
Oh, I love it. I'm not going to open that one because everybody will want that in their bundle and you might not get it. But you're definitely going to get something. Yeah, you're going to love them all, aren't you? Look at that. This is the size, of course. This is your 18 by 22 inches. These are your fat quarter pieces. Don't miss out on these. They are literally flying out the door. So check those baskets out again. Dispatch date, just as a reminder, 30th of May. So a little bit of a wait, but you know, well worth that wait, isn't it? You can be planning all your projects before they arrive, or maybe just going to put them on the shelf and keep getting them down and giving them a good old stroke.
I do English paper piecing with a lot of Tim Holtz stuff,
Yeah.
because there's so much different detail. detail. It's like you've got so many more fabrics than you've actually got because of the different colours and the different interests and the different details throughout the fabric. There's an awful lot in there. I mean, we did, this was one with just English paper piece and just peeping out. That's the entomology there.
Oh.
And that was the one that you just had in your
which
hand.
we also have on the show, which is absolutely
We've got a different
beautiful.
type of cork on today.
Have we?
Yeah. So that was the cork we had last week. This week, I wanted to bring you a different type of cork. So this week, we have got one that, so we talked the other, I mean, again, I was thinking Father's Day. I was thinking, you know, Father's Day, sunglasses pouch or glasses pouch, and we've got the flexi frames. And this time, not only have we got the instructions with the flexi frames, but we've also got 3 flexi frame top-ups if you just want, because what I found last time was that lots of people were buying multiples of the pattern that didn't feel fair to get the extra flexi frames. So I've put like 3 flexi frames on. Anyway, and I'll show you how to make all of these, but it's just, because there's the texture in the Tim Holtz, I like to add the texture to it. So this is a finer cork, and so the way that cork works, obviously it's a natural product, so every bit is a little bit different, and it's tree bark, and it's shaved when it's dried. It's shaved really, really thinly, which means that in order to make it a fabric which you can use for your bag making, you know, it's so practical. This is now backed onto cotton. So you sew with it just like you would your cotton.
That's amazing. And it's important to say, this isn't imitation, this is natural cork.
Yeah, you know, it's proper natural cork from Portugal. I assume it's from Portugal anyway, but it's, so you've got this beautiful earthy fleck through there. So for me, it just sat so nicely next to this natural product sitting really nicely next to the industrial feel of the Tim Holtz. I love that juxtaposition
I
of
would
the two.
stock up on that, because you literally could go in blindfolded and pick any of the fabrics out and you know it's going to work. And at $12.99 for half a metre, I'd definitely go for at least a metre of that while we've got it.
I can't get this again.
Can't you?
No, when it's gone, it's gone. I can't get the quilted either again. For now, I'm now having to go to Portugal to try and get, well, not myself, obviously. I'm now having to try and get it in. To source it from somewhere else because you've bought so much of it.
Don't let it slip through your fingers this time.
I know.
If anybody wants to buy more than half a metre, will it be a continuous length or will it be separate pieces?
It will be me that cuts it, so it will be a continuous length.
Oh, even better.
Yeah.
Even better.
I will try my very hardest. The PU is, we've tried to get ahead because there is so much to cut with that. We've tried to get ahead with cutting it. Yeah. So if we see it in time, we haven't finished cutting, and you've bought multiples, then we will. I know that I've held back one person's order from last week because I knew that as soon as the stock for this came in, then I could give her that, you know. But yeah, so I will try my best. The Tim Holtz is different because that's not coming from me. The cork and the PU is coming from me, but you know, they have their own processes of you know, fulfilling orders. So there you go.
Wonderful. Oh yeah, don't miss out. Don't miss out on anything we've got on offer, because you might not see it again. I fancy that trip to Portugal, though.
Well, I know. As I said it, I was like, oh, can that go against tax if it's a work do?
There's an idea. Right, okay, we've got 20 minutes left. So what are we going to do next?
Well, we're going to finish this bag. Not all of it, but we're going to have a jolly good go. So the lining is made in the exact same way, apart from you are going to leave a turning through hole in the bottom. So just leave yourself. And I thought, if I get organised, I can get ahead and actually remember that turning through hole rather than having to, you know, reach for mine.
Yeah, your unpicker.
And all of that, like, I don't go crazy with lots of pinning and clipping and everything because it drives me a bit mad. So all I do is make sure that I clip the seams.
Yeah.
So that I know that they are aligned. And for me, as long as I can pull that taut and nothing's saggy or baggy, then I know that one fits the other.
Which that looks perfect, doesn't it?
Well, I'm hoping. He's hoping, Catherine. Always hoping.
I'm sure it will be.
So, Again, slow and steady here wins the race. Forwards and backwards, secure that stitch. You want this lining to stay in. And sometimes I will go round twice. If the first time that I do it, you know, and I'm constantly sort of moving stuff out the way, if it goes a bit wobbly, I'll just go round again until that seam is straight. So don't, you know, don't, and also because I tend to sew a bit fast, but don't give yourself a hard time.
Now, when my mum taught me to sew, when I first did a little bit of sewing with a sewing machine, my mum used to baste or tack everything. And we don't tend to see that the same now, because I know we've always had pins, but for safety reasons, not safety reasons in health and safety, but, you know, to kind of protect the materials you're working with and to stop things moving. But to me now, watching everybody here as a guest, I think, what a lot of time was wasted doing that.
If I were dressmaking,
Yeah.
I would tack and baste.
Maybe that's why she did it then.
So if she was a seamstress, then that would be why, because craft sewing is kind of a bit more forgiving than dressmaking, just to my mind. And also, like, the first press that you put in a garment when you're making it is the one that sort of stays.
Yeah.
So you just, and also you're going to wear it. You know, if my seam goes a little bit wobbly here, realistically, you're not going to notice it. If it goes a bit wobbly on a dress, you're going to end up with one in, you know.
Yeah, it's not going to sit right, is it?
Yeah, so it's kind of more important, is my take on it. There'll be others that are going, oh, everything should be perfect. You can baste. Of course you can baste. If you love basting, you baste away.
Well, yeah, there's no rules, is there? I'll tell you something else that's flying. We've had lots of things flying out the door this hour. The cork, I knew it would. Oh, no. 60% of the stock has gone. Natasha can't get hold of any more without sourcing it elsewhere, and that's not guaranteed. That's not guaranteed.
Without, you know, a recce.
It's sounding more and more appealing
by the
minute. That was quick.
I didn't baste, you see. See how much time it saved me.
Yeah, I'd still be on the first quarter with the basting stitch there.
There's a time to baste and a time not to. The thing that I really love about Styleville is that it just pings.
Oh, that lining is just perfect for the Tim Holtz fabric. Is it one we've got on the shoulder lining?
I didn't get shown what linings. What you've got some Bella solids.
Yeah.
But they didn't send me any, so I didn't see. So I don't know. Pass.
Oh, there may be. We've got different colours.
You might have.
There might be something.
I mean, that might be a happy.
Well, looking at the Tim Holtz fabrics anyway, there's going to be so many different solids that are going to work with each one of those. That is lovely. What
I would then do is put a little stitch around the top just to keep your lining, just to hold it in place, because you're going to be stuffing it in a frame any second now. Here's the thing. It's at this point that you go, what?
What colour? What colour?
Well, no. Natasha, what have you done that doesn't fit?
Oh, I see.
And you sit there and you go, did I stitch it on? Should it have been that way? No.
Oh.
No, no, no. You are right. And once I've stitched around the top, I will show you why. Oh, it's like a cliffhanger on Neighbours, isn't it? You can't wait for the next bit. I'll show you.
Right, well, we're going to let you stitch around the top so we can come back to you as soon as possible, and I'm going to show you something else we've got. Did mention these when we looked at the website. These are a great buy. These are your Free Spirit fabric rolls. Now, these are your solids, so you've got your black and you've got your white there, which are going to, again, go perfectly with the Tim Holtz fabrics. We've actually called it mist rather than white, because it is kind of an off-white, isn't it? It's not a bright white. So black and mist, if you want the true names for these. 868963 is the item number. Of course, you do get 40 of those on a roll. We've got flexi on this one as well. 2 payments of £24.75. So, yeah, we've got a fair few flexis, actually. We've got other items as well from Free Spirit, like the charm packs and also the layer cake. In fact, we have got those right under the counter, so I'm going to show you these again. Do you know, if you've watched it previously, it shows with Jenny. Jenny's done some amazing quilts with the layer cake. Absolutely amazing. So the fact that you've just got the solids there, Don't think, you know, just use those on their own. They're going to be boring. They're not.
On our pick and mix, the Kelmscook quilt is made with a layer cake.
Oh.
Just, yeah, if you take a look at that. The other thing is, because you've just got the black and white there, it really does allow the Tim Holtz fabric to just pop.
If I lay that on there and lay those, sort of space them out a little bit so it kind of crosses over everything. It does, it just works. It doesn't matter. Again, you could go in blindfolded, choose anything you want, work with the fabrics, and that's it. You know you're going to get results.
All you need to do is just cut some squares of these fabric and sash them with the mist or the black. You know, it doesn't have to be. You don't have to have a difficult quilt. You know, you could cut your squares, put them face down on the blacks, and just sew 2 lines diagonally cut through the middle. And you've got half square triangles, and that would be stunning. Could you imagine that in a quilt, just half black, half Tim Holtz in all those different colours? It would be phenomenal.
It really would. It really would. So what have you done there? You just stitched around the top?
I've just stitched around the top because then it's not going to shift when I try to put everything into there. Now the next thing I'm going to do is find that centre point. So I put my seams together, and I come out to here. I'm going to mark it there, and seams together.
Now, although you don't need a ruler to measure. We've got lots of rulers on the show as well. If you do need your templates and your rulers, we've got all sorts of available on the website.
We've got creative grids on.
We certainly have.
I
yeah, we've got
love
lots
creative grids. And then you're going to find your centre hole in here. Okay, and that's what you will match up. Now, you know I said there's a time to baste and there's a time not. Now's your time to baste.
Oh, right, okay.
Okay, because I've tried bulldog clips, I've tried all sorts of stuff, but for me, I get a really bright thread and I'm going to whip stitch over the top.
Okay.
Because what's going to happen is...
Now, Natasha, every one of this particular style has sold now. It's gone. It's currently gone. We do have the other style as well. So would the principle for stitching be the same? I know the bag size is different here, so you're showing us with the bag.
Yeah.
But, right, okay.
So no, absolutely it will be the same. So you just, because this is going to bend round that corner, which is what gives you that shape and allows that gusset to then move in, and that will go. So you will put this, you'll find your centre, and we'll do it in a second. And then when you're basting it, you see, you'll just bring that round that corner and then just lay that down there.
Totally get it. Yeah, now it makes total sense why you've got that extra width as it appeared to begin with.
Well, that's, I mean, and it does look like, you know, you've made a right old boo-boo, but yet you really haven't.
We have had a question come in from Evelyn.
Is it an easy one?
I think it will be.
Oh, good.
I think it will be. Evelyn is asking, could you use a velvet for this bag?
Ooh, yes. Yeah. And then send us the photos, please, because that would be phenomenal.
Yeah. I want to see that as well, Evelyn, please. I wonder what colour it is as well.
Could you imagine a crushed velvet?
Nice. What colour crushed velvet would you have if you were buying a velvet for your bag, Natasha?
Midnight blue.
Do you know, I was going to say blue as well.
Were you?
Yeah.
Are we midnight blue twins?
Yeah.
Yeah. Right.
We've got another update as well. Uh-oh. I'm dreading what's coming now. Oh, no!
What?
The cork has technically sold out as well. Oh, well done if you did get that. You are not going to be disappointed. 732321 is the item number there. I absolutely love this, and it will work with every one of those fabrics. Oh, well done, everybody.
Okay. I've gone with a bright orange so that you can see it. Okay. Tie yourself a little knot in the end. I was trying to do this with kittens on my lap this morning. Don't ever try that. Really, really hard. Really hard. Okay, so take it through the middle.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. moving the counter. Find your middle, which is just there. You can eyeball it or you can measure it. It's entirely up to you. And this is why we've stitched, because it just gives you a guide as well as to where that needs to sit. It just helps it sit up into the frame. And then I would just go across one. Whip stitch over.
Okay.
And, you know, go like every other one.
Yeah.
Or whatever.
With your thread, Natasha, do you need a proper thread, you know, the really thick, strong thread, or
No.
could you use some wax with a thread and make that stronger, or does it just not need
You're just
it?
basting it. This is going to be cut out.
Right, okay.
Okay, so this is just going to hold everything into position
Yeah.
to allow you then to stitch it all in place with your
Okay.
nice thread later. Okay, so you know we just had a giggle about basting.
Yeah.
No, you
Yeah,
need,
this
you
is
need to
important.
baste it. Yeah, this is when Lisa and I first spoke about this bag and she first sent me the pattern and the handles and everything for it. In the instructions it says, grab a cupper and stitch it in. And she's like, I've got some tips and tricks when you're using smaller frames, but they don't quite work for this size. Lisa says, you know, you can use bulldog clips. I've tried it. I didn't have a lot of luck, if I'm honest, with bulldog clips, but maybe I just didn't have the right size. So what I found worked best for me.
Well, I think because you've spent out on such a beautiful handle there and the fabric is just stunning, you want to spend your time, you want to do it properly, so don't try and take those shortcuts, just do it right the first time.
There
round.
will be a show that you can just sit and
Of
just
course.
watch. I'll often do a little bit of hand sewing like this if the kids want to watch a movie on a Sunday afternoon or
Yeah.
something like that. And they, you know, they want me there with them, and that's absolutely fine. Or if Stephen's got the football on or something like that, and you know, if we're being sociable. But you can see I'm just going over the top of the frame, because when I come to stitch it in, I'm going to stitch that way along. I'm going to go
Right,
from
I
the
see.
centre
Yeah.
out and the centre out.
Okay.
So I want it held, but I don't want these getting in the way. And I cut them as I go and pull them
yeah,
out.
that makes sense.
But you see then, this is where you need to take your time. And this is where it's really handy. Can you see that where it's stitched, because it's also giving me sort of a point of reference to make sure that I've got it up and in that frame. The very first one that you do is awkward. I can't lie about that. You know, it is a little bit awkward. Just
Yeah.
take your time with it. That's the thing.
It's definitely worth the effort.
Well, do you know, it really is.
We've
I have not
got-
seen any bags like this on the market.
No, neither have I. I just, suddenly, well, you know, we came to
Yeah,
the
I know,
prep meeting,
you
it's
sort of
like,
went a bit weak at the
Look at
knees.
those handles, look at those handles.
And
We
be-
have got about 4 minutes left, Natasha.
Okay. So I'm just going to keep on trying to baste this in. We've got to the corner just as I nearly run out of thread, so that's really helpful. But because you've got almost a border along this line here, what I'm making sure is that that is what is going up into here.
Right,
So
yeah.
I can't see it. So it's giving me a guide. It also gives me a visual to make sure that I've got enough up in there.
Yeah.
So, and if you need to, gosh, it's the day of the animal scissors. I've got my unicorn scissors. Give it a little bit of a...
Yeah, a bit of a helping hand.
Some people glue. I get in a right old mess
Yeah, I think
if I
I'd be
glue
a bit
base.
wary of gluing myself, because yeah, if you
The
get it on
thing
the
is,
fabric.
if you are using beautiful fabrics and you then get glue on them that you
you're
cannot
gonna be
get
very
off.
upset, aren't you?
Now, those people that are professional bag makers and they do it all the time, you know, absolutely. Of course I haven't quite given myself enough, but you'll see that that is starting to go in there.
We can totally see how that's coming together.
And then that will lie in there. The next side is so much easier to put in because it wants to go in there because you've already paved the way with that. So I start from the middle and work out.
Okay.
And I do that, I'll do that on the other side there. And you see then, you can just see.
Look how that comes together with the shaping.
Yeah, Lisa is so incredibly clever. Don't do the mistake that I first made when I first did this, was that I stuffed all of that and had a right old job trying to stuff all of that into there. And of course, then when I opened it, it was... So don't do that.
Yeah.
Work that around so that you can then open it out.
Yeah, otherwise you're restricting the
fully
opening,
like that. Yeah, I mean you can if you want to, and it gives you a slightly different shape if you do. And I have done one like that, and then gone, oh, hang on, because I looked at Lisa. She's like, oh, your shape's slightly different to mine. And then I twigged what I'd done wrong. So you see that'll be in there.
Everybody's going to want one of these when they see you.
I know, but just look how that's gonna.
Beautiful.
It's going to be stunning. Yeah.
It really, really is. Oh, and you can be doing that as well if you did manage to get, of course, the handles, but you can still get the fabric. You can still get that. So the one-day special, I'm going to, I'm going to get one and open it right out. I'm going to go for this one because oh, no, I'm going to wreck the set now, look. There we are. There, that's what you're getting. So 18 by 22 inches is the size of your American fat quarter. Just get the detail in this one as well. Yeah, there's text in this, it's non-directional. Look at that, love it. Oh, that is so Tim Holtz, isn't it?
It really is.
Yeah. Love it. Absolutely love it. I did just pinch something off the back of the set, not pinch to take it away, but just to bring it in, because I know the cork has gone. I know the handles have gone. This was the bag I referred to earlier. I just love this. And this has got the PU on the bottom, so those fat quarters. I can remember it because it was such a good buy. It was $16.99 for 4 pieces. You've got darks and you've got your lights as well, you see? I know a bargain when I see one. That is so, so soft. This is a different shaped bag as well. So I presume this is one you're going to make in one of the shows, Natasha?
Yeah, it is. So that's the, we sort of did this last week actually with the cork, and I've got the pattern which is the cork based bag. Now if you got the pattern for the cork based bag, you've basically got the pattern. There's just one tweak that you need to make, and if you didn't get the cork based bag pattern, then get the contrast based bag.
Seconds left, would you believe it? But we're back together at 8 o'clock, can't we? I cannot wait. Check your baskets out. It's been very, very, very busy. 371-532 if you want to go for the fat quarters. Come back at 8 o'clock, but stay with us now. Adam's back up next. Stay with us.